media accountability needs to include driving public awareness of the issues and providing information that will get the public involved. Because at the end of the day, we are all in this together. We are all stakeholders of the media in our society. And we share in the responsibility and the accountability. If this works, then Sir Johnny Mercado would not have to worry about low-flying calapatis. And Miss Wen Paraan need not pray for Harry Potter's invisibility cloak and Iron Man's armor. I feel that once the media starts also doing that component of accountability, that is informing the public of their power, getting people more empowered than they are today, then we can see a really better society moving forward. And with that, I would like to express my appreciation to Ariel Severino. Let's give a round of applause. It's not being an executive director, Jake's go-to guy, and putting this all together. It's not an easy task. But he does it with too much stress, I think. And it shows. But he's able to deliver, as you can see. And also the men and women of the Philippine Press Institute. You are an inspiration. And I hope that I am, yes, round of applause. Please. Okay? So you are an inspiration. And I hope the students who are here today, the members of the academy, I hope that you get the picture. I hope that you see inspiration, draw inspiration from the men and women with the Institute, with the other media organizations fighting for a better media. Because in the future, you will be the ones in that position. And we hope that you bring the lesson with you moving forward. So in closing, my talk is all about protecting and clearing the name of the poor, marginalized, oftentimes maligned crabs. We can choose to follow that behavior that manifests itself in the bucket, crab mentality. Or we can also look at the reality that crabs can also, or do in fact, work together for the benefit of the community. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you, Wally. I owe you 5 minutes. Mabilising presentation and very insightful. Wally said, better economy, more Coke sales. Diba? So, I'm sure some of you have read the book published by World Bank Institute. The title is The Right to Tell. Have you read it? The Right to Tell, the Role of Mass Media in Economic Development, which says that there is a direct, positive relationship between press freedom and economic development. Check it out. You can download this book, The Right to Tell, the Role of Mass Media in Economic Development. I think it was published early 2000 by the World Bank. Anyway, take care. Don't eat too much crabs because of bad cholesterol. In yesterday's forum, Berhal talked about the need for newspapers, for the print media, to look for another platform, to start thinking of another platform, because he said trees are very difficult to find nowadays, especially in Baguio. Not because they're crappy, but because of realities. And so we have to look for another platform for printing our newspapers. So this will be the topic of our next resource person. This is a take-off from last year's presentation. Remember when we presented different applications where we could see our newspapers in tablets and so on and so forth. So the topic is shifting gears, new mechanisms to strengthen community journalism. Our presenter is the President of Collaborative ICT Services Division of the Information Capital Technology Ventures Incorporated. Those of you covering the ICT knows him, I'm sure, because he has been in the ICT industry for many years. He was formerly the Director General of the National Computer Center and was Commissioner of the Commission on ICT, which is now an office under the DOST. Please welcome Commissioner Angelo Timoteo P. Diaz de Rivera.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank Ariel and the Ppi for allowing me to use a PowerPoint presentation. He had said no PowerPoints, but because I really felt strongly about the need to show some visuals to the group, I said, Ariel, please allow me to use a PowerPoint presentation because I need to show some visuals to the group to drive my point home. So thank you, Ariel, for allowing me to use the PowerPoint presentation. I promise to stick within the 50 minutes that you had required of us. I also want to talk a little bit about crabs as a start. Wally had a very, very good point about the crabs have to be involved. Instead of being uninvolved, they have to be involved. I heard a sequel to the story yesterday about the crabs pulling people down. There is a new generation of crabs, and we think that Ppi, together with our company and a few of our partners, are this new generation of crabs that have somehow been able to release ourselves and maybe move a little bit above, and now we're reaching up and trying to pull people up. So we're the new generation of crabs that want to pull the entire society upwards. So I think this new generation of crabs, we still work together. We're actively involved. We are no longer passive, but we're now helping each other get out of the rut that some of us are still in. So I think that my presentation talks a little bit about how the helping hand that we would like to offer Ppi members. So my talk, the title given was Shifting Gears and New Mechanisms. And this is what I'll be talking about. Why am I talking about shifting gears? And what new mechanisms are we talking about? I'll discuss this as part of my presentation. But before that, let me just go a little bit talk about how the game is changing. As Ramon mentioned earlier, our Vice Chairman, Real Santos, talked about the reality that news will never become irrelevant. As a matter of fact, it's more important now than it ever was in the past. But somehow news is now being read in various forms of media, not just on print. So he mentioned the need to switch media. That was his exact words yesterday. Our proposition is that you don't need to switch media. You need to be able to switch. You need to shift gears. Depending on where your customer is reading news, you need to be there. If he's reading in the morning, he's reading news from the newspaper, then your content is available to him on print. When he travels to work, he'll look at it on his mobile phone. You need to be there as well on the mobile phone. So you need to be able to switch gears. You need to have multiple sources of multiple channels where you can deliver your content. Let me show you an example of this. The Follow the Sun concept. This is one of the largest media companies in Australia, Fairfax Media. They engage with their public throughout the whole day. And the way they engage with their public is they start out in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, Sydney Morning Herald. They have a huge readership on Sydney Morning Herald. This is their print media. When the reader goes off to work, he continues to read on his smartphone. When he gets to the office, he opens up his computer, and he continues to read online on his desktop. He also has time, maybe lunchtime, he has some time to watch some videos. It's also available on the online platform. And then sometime in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, he pulls out the newspaper again and reads the sections. He's gone through the headlines, now he's reading the sections from the print media. And then towards 4 o'clock, he goes back and sees, okay, what's happened after the day is over. What's been happening? He goes back to his online. And then he heads home and he still looks at breaking news on his smartphone. Towards the evening, entertainment comes in. He opens up his tablet and he's more leisurely. He looks at videos. And he may even have a chance before going to bed to watch a movie. or watch a documentary. So they now try to engage with their public.